So here's a pair of Birkenstock Arizona Sandal in black, and I picked these up for £60, and in my search of different Birkenstock type shoes, I think this is one of the ones that I sort of settled on, and the reason being is it's a sort of a black colourway, and this one has more of a sort of firmer footbed compared to some of the other Arizona ones. And for me, it was just one of those ones, like I said, because it's a simple colourway. I initially had the grey one, but I decided not to keep that one. I think for me, the grey one just stood out a bit too much, and I think black just works with everything. And I also like the overall sort of strap on this one as well, being rather than it being a dual strap, it's kind of like almost one, but it gives you that sort of option to be adjustable. And these were released in 2024 in this particular colourway, and obviously it's made as a sandal. And it's a historic tried and true formula. Obviously Birkenstock have been around for a long while, since the 1800s, I believe. I should say that on the box. So it's 1870, 74, there you go. So it's been a long time. So with the details, it just comes in a black colourway, and you can sort of see that on here, and it's got this sort of soft suede material. And it has a cork midsole, so you can see that here. And as I mentioned, it's one of those ones where it's more on the firmer side, and it's got a lot more, I suppose, arch support than you normally would have with like a soft bed version. The soft bed version is probably a good starting point, and this one is probably more for those that are more for, sort of sucker for punishment. Just to kind of, you have to kind of work these in a bit. And it has a rubber outsole as well, so this is quite sort of slippery to begin with, but once I started wearing my other pair, it seemed to be okay. Like, I wouldn't say it's exceptional, but it's okay. And it's got, like I said earlier, the leather and suede materials, which just feels very premium and really soft. And the price for these, original price was £120. So with the comfort and sizing, these are on the firm side, much firmer than, like I said, the soft bed foam version. And for me, it's one of those ones where it has a really sort of supportive foot position, and you might not be used to having this sort of raised arch, which I'm not, and I do feel sort of pressure on my foot. But the appeal of Birkenstocks is once you sort of wear them in, they become sort of more one-to-one with your foot, and give you that overall support and kind of massagey feel. So you can sort of see the contours on here. These are kind of meant to help with blood circulation, and same for like the inner side of the footbed as well. So you can sort of see that on the arch, and just that sort of cup area for your heel kind of allows you to sort of sit in there as well and not have too much sort of slippage. And this is one of those ones where, depending on your foot shape and how you are, it could take anywhere between sort of 5 to 30 hours to sort of wear in. And initially, for a lot of people, like myself as well, you might experience a bit of pain, and you probably need to take them off and put them on again, that kind of stuff. But once you kind of do that, they do feel much nicer on foot. And I do recommend going true to size. Even if you're half size up or whatever, I do recommend just going the size down. And for spring summer, like I said earlier, the grip works fine. It's a little bit slippery to start with, but once you start wearing it, it feels fine. But obviously just be wary in sort of wet conditions. It might sort of slip around, especially when it's new. So with the look and style, it's got the classic look and design of any sort of Birkenstock clog, really. But with this one, I just like the strap being this all-in-one, so it's really sort of put on and off. With the other Arizona pair that I have, it's got 2 straps on it, and sometimes those straps kind of fall down, and then you have to kind of, hold them in place to get your foot in, which this one, you don't have to as much. And, these are good for sort of spring, summertime, in my opinion. And I think the Birkenstock, in the way they're made, and they're kind of a classic look, I think you can dress them up smart and, also, wear them casually. So, if you're in the market for something to wear with, sort of chinos and trousers, or, you're going out for the evening, I think you can get away with wearing Birkenstock, especially in like hot weather. So with the final thoughts, I do like the fact that it molds to your foot, and I think that's one of the beauty of this, but also the negative as well. And I also like the dark colours in this one. That's one of the reasons why I ended up buying this pair. And it has sort of great upper materials, so I will say that, it feels really nice and really soft and really plush, and just what's to be expected from a Birkenstock. Cons, cost, I don't know if it's worth £120. I mean, I paid £60 for these, and I'm happy with that. I wouldn't pay £120 for them, just, in my opinion. And the wearing time, like I said, it's both a blessing and also a curse, because you have to, endure that sort of pain or suffering to get them to work for you. But once you do, they feel a lot nicer, and now that I've given them more of a chance, I can see the appeal for these. So with the ratings, I give the look and style for this one a 5. I actually really like it, and it's really functional as well. Like the Kyoto sandal, it's very easy to put on and off, and also the adjustability is great as well with the two sort of buckles to kind of get your forefoot exactly to how you want it to be. Comfort, I'm going to give it 3 initially. I think once you start wearing them in, they're not going to be like amazing comfort, but I still think, then I'd probably, once you sort of wore them in and you're more comfortable with them, it could go up to a 4. And it's still going to be on the firm side. Still very much, I suppose a clog or a cork type sandal. There's no sort of soft cushioning, and I actually don't like that. I don't like the soft cushioning, and I just found myself more, going towards the firmer end of the spectrum. And the quality, I'm going to give that 5. I think, Birkenstock never fail with the quality. I think the only sort of a gripe that I have is probably the outsole. I think it needs to be more durable, but the thing with the appeal of the Birkenstocks is, all of the parts are sort of replaceable. And the pricing, I'll give that a 4. I think, like I said, £120 is a lot of money. If you can grab them on sale for like 60 quid, 70 quid, 80 quid depending on the size, and it's kind of worth it. But £120 is a lot of money. But overall, I'm going to give it a 4. I think for me, I really like this particular pair. It's just really cool. Same with the Kyoto. Both of those are really nice, and the Kyoto is more for like going out, occasionally, whilst this one probably you can use it more for everyday use. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Especially if you're sort of after a Birkenstock and can handle the downsides of sort of wearing them in.